To the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll please remain standing for a brief moment. Thank you. I was about to say Dan lead us in the pledge, but that might have created some confusion.
Yes.
Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
Here. We have a quorum. Row officer reports and comments. Looking at the audience today, I don't see any row officers with us. Public comments. Do we have any member of the public wishing to make comment? Seeing none. Fiscal and contractual, no repository requirements of bid, no advertising bids or proposals, no receipt of bids or proposals. We do have 3 warrant registers up today. I'll give my colleagues a minute to check those 3 registers over. The warrant register is the culmination of the county's fiscal process that starts actually with the budget process, where each department's assigned a certain amount of money per line item that they're able to spend on anything from staples to tables. And in order to make a purchase, the department has to submit a purchase order to the controller's office, who verifies that there's money in their line item to be able to make that purchase. That purchase order then gets sent to the board of commissioners. 2 commissioners sign off on it or don't. If 2 commissioners sign off on it, it heads back down to the controller's office, where the controller authorizes the treasurer to make payment for whatever the purchase is. The controller's office then compiles the warrant register, which is a listing of all payments made out, submits it to us, where we're able to check them over to make sure that no payments were made improperly. That's how the county's fiscal process works.
And on that note, I will motion that we accept those 3 warrant registers.
We have the motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, we have the minutes from Tuesday, February 7th, Board of Commissioners meeting 2023. I think this might be the second time on the agenda we've had 22. And I know when you go back in to edit the agendas, all you're doing is replacing the month and the date. But we gotta, if we could just be able to replace the year. And again, I should have caught that when reviewing it. But no, not a big issue. But I'll let my colleagues look over the agenda or the minutes, and then I'll take a motion to approve minutes or make any changes as necessary and expedient.
So moved.
Second. The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have 3 presentations of written communications today. One's an Act 14 notification for Wilmington Township. North Memorial Animal Hospital is applying to the DEP for a NPDES sewage permit. Thomas Kirkwood is submitting an application for the same Act 14 permit for an NPDES permit, individual permit, in Scott Township. And Gary Osterreiter, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is applying for the same in Plain Grove Township. Any questions or comments on this? As I always do, I'll note the Board of Commissioners does not have approval authority over whether permits are issued. Certain individuals pulling certain permits are just required to notify us those permits are being pulled, so that if we have any questions, comments, or concerns, we can contact the appropriate administrative agencies. But I'll take a motion to accept and motion to accept written correspondence.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Staff reports. Any member of staff have anything to report above and beyond what's already on the agenda? Seeing none. Commissioner reports and comments. If nobody objects, I'll defer my comments to last today. And I'll turn it over to you, Dan.
Thank you. Well, I want to make note, we had a passing last week, and Debbie, you would remember him because he was in your profession. That was Bob Jackson, who was a very dear friend of mine. Bob was a reporter for the Youngstown Vindicator for many, many years. And I first met Bob back in the late 70s and used to sit at the same lunch table with Bob. He was just a top-notch professional. I'm sure you would agree. I'm sure you sat in a lot of meetings with Bob. He was a real family man, 2 wonderful children, had a lovely wife, and he lived a good long life, lived well into his 90s. Bob was a tremendous tennis player, always kept himself in real good shape, but ironically, at lunch every day, without even asking, the waitress would bring him a scoop of butter pecan ice cream every day, religiously. So I'm going to miss Bob, but I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to get to know him and become a very close friend. I think even after I became commissioner in '04, I think he was retired by then. I don't remember Bob sitting in the meetings here. Mary Grabeniak used to work for the Vindicator.
Lori Armstrong
That's right. Oh, and did Lori Chaffee work for the?
for a while.
Yeah. Was I right? No, Mary worked for the news, didn't she?
Well, she worked for the Vindicator first.
That's right.
Yeah, I
That's
got
right.
her from there.
I
She was
forgot.
only part-time.
Yes. Okay. Well, we had a lot of good reporters.
Yeah, we miss her too. I mean,
Yeah.
she's still doing well, I believe, but
She still lives out in North Beaver Township, I think.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, anyway, I wanted to make note of Robert's passing. Can I reserve the right, because I know you're going to be making some comments, I'd like to reserve the right to maybe respond.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I will defer as well, because I can't wait to respond.
That may be a good thing or a bad thing. Of course, that can depend on the day.
No, please do. Please.
Absolutely. So my comments, I'm gonna make this brief. I already sent some emails out to the employees. Obviously, you have both been kept in the loop, as well as Joe at Vanessa throughout this entire process. Last week, I was offered and accepted the position of Special Assistant to the Secretary of Community and Economic Development for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And yesterday, I submitted my resignation letter as a commissioner to the Board of Judges, Judge Motto, Judge Cox, Judge Hodge, and Judge Acker. My last day as a commissioner will be on March 10th, last full day. The resignation will take effect at the end of the day on March 10th. I'll start the new job on March 13th. But just very briefly, I'm honored and humbled by the confidence that Secretary Siger and Governor Shapiro have in me for this new role, and I'm looking forward to serving the residents of the Commonwealth in this new capacity. From a professional perspective, I believe that it will be both challenging and incredibly personally rewarding to assist the Secretary and the Governor in improving Pennsylvania's economy and lifting up our communities. I'm also tremendously thankful for Lawrence County and the voters that we have here for seeing fit to lift me into this position of County Commissioner, and greatly enjoyed my time here in pursuit of the public good. I know that I'm leaving Lawrence County in better shape than when I inherited this office, and I know that I'm leaving it in good hands with my two colleagues, Dan and Loretta, as well as our administrative team, Vanessa and Chris, and all of our department heads, our elected officials, our staff. We've got a tremendous team here that works every day in pursuit of the public good. Couldn't ask for a better one. The Board of Judges will now be responsible for appointing an individual to fill the balance of my unexpired term, and I'll defer any questions related to that process to President Judge Motto. I know that, like I said, I submitted my resignation letter yesterday, and I know that the Board of Judges has been in discussions over the past couple of weeks for exactly how to structure that process. First time since 1925, I believe, that the commissioners resigned, but I know commissioners have passed away in office.
I'll talk about
Yeah. I'm interested. I knew you would be on top of that. If there's anybody to be on top of that, it would be you. Anyway, just thank you to the voters, the residents, the business owners, the municipalities for everything over the past 3 years. It's been a tremendous honor to serve in this capacity, and thank you.
Your suit is blue, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to and your suit is blue, and I'm in red. Now, I say that only because working together in a nonpartisan manner has been a great experience. We have our differences. We have, we say what we need to say, and we get it done. We're like family when we have the discussions, the arguments, so to speak, but we always end up with a solution, and we carry on and we move forward with what we have to do. That has been, for me, being new to the arena, working with both of you, working with you, Morgan, has been a wonderful experience. And I wish you nothing but the best. Just showing, again, the nonpartisanship. I just thought that was just so funny that the two Republicans were blue and the Democrats in red. I can't get that out of my head. But it's just, you know, you come in and you do the work for the county, and what you have brought to the county, just with your background and just the never-ending energy and the enthusiasm and the things that you have done is truly been extremely beneficial. I always say I wish I could live on 2 hours of sleep, but no, I can't do that anymore. But thank you for everything that you've done, and look forward to working with you and continuing to promote Lawrence County and move us forward. We have, you know, much work to be done. A lot of work has been started, and I look forward to working with you in a different capacity. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Well, before I say my thanks and everything, I will let you know a little bit of history.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the last time the Board of Judges had to take formal action to fill a vacancy was in 1968. And at the time, we only had 2 judges in the courts, Judge Henderson and Judge Lyon. The vacancy was caused by the passing of County Commissioner Ray Bailey, who resided in Union Township. And Mr. Bailey was a registered Democrat. He was in his late 60s when he passed away. The judges received, if I recall correctly, at least a dozen letters of interest for the position. And they chose, the 2 of them chose, attorney Charles DeLuga-Kensky, who lived in the city of Newcastle, and that's his picture right over there, the colored picture, the picture that's, the other ones are black and white, but the one that's in color, that was attorney DeLuga-Kensky, more commonly known as Charlie D. And a well-respected member of the County Bar Association, but also a well-respected county commissioner. He's a very soft-spoken man. And I hate to hold us up, but I have to tell this quick story about Charlie D that I think I've told you guys before. Back in the 60s, as we all know, back then there were no Walmarts or Dollar Generals. There were lots of mom and pop stores around the county, little grocery stores, and that sort of thing. And when Charlie would go out campaigning, and by the way, he was a bachelor. Charlie was not married, lived up on Sheep Hill. When he would go out and campaign, he'd stop by all these little stores, and he always felt compelled to buy something, some little article. And he'd get back in his car and he'd throw it in the back seat. And I guess the back seat of his car was full of little odds and ends and knickknacks, but that was his style. So 1968 was the last year in which the courts had to fill a vacancy, but that was due to a passing. 4 years prior to that, 1964, there was a commissioner from here in the city by the name of Sam Byers. And Sam, this is more in line with what's happening with you. Sam had an opportunity to take a position in the private sector here in town with a local company. And he determined that even though legally he could have done both, he could have been a commissioner and held this private sector position.
Right.
He just felt that it would be, that the time constraints would be too demanding. And it just wouldn't be fair to hold both positions. So he opted to step down as county commissioner because of another opportunity, which is similar to your situation. At that point, there were still 2 judges, but at that time it was still Judge Henderson. But at that time it was Judge Powers, Judge John Powers was the president judge. And they chose a gentleman from Wayne Township, William Houck, Bill Houck. Bill was appointed in 64, and then he actually ran in 67 and was elected to a full term. I remember Bill. Bill was a real nice fellow as well. Debbie, do you remember Bill Houck? You know who would remember him? Would be John Manna.
Probably.
John would remember Bill Houck. Bill was a very nice man.
Maybe Nancy Lowry.
Right. But anyway, once we knew officially that you were getting ready to move along, I just did a little bit of research. I was wondering how long it had been. I know Frank McCary, our good friend in maintenance, has been here since the early 70s, and he made it clear, I'm sure he told you, that during his time it's never happened. So 1968, vacancy due to a passing, and 1964, a vacancy due to someone moving on like you're doing.
I missed that one. Yeah, but yeah.
And then I think prior to that, it was like you said, 20s or 30s. But I know there was a commissioner who passed away, but I've taken enough time. I would concur. Congratulations. And it's a well-deserved honor. I think I shared with you in my previous career in the private sector, I used to spend a great deal of time in Harrisburg, and it's an exciting city in which to work. And especially now, I was pleased to see the governor calling the employees back, because I was in Harrisburg this summer for a meeting, and it was like a ghost town. There was no rush hour. It was spooky almost. So it's nice to see people are coming back to the offices, and I know you'll do very, very well down there. So like Loretta said, thank you for your service to the community, and we wish you nothing but continued success. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you both for your partnership over these last few years.
Absolutely.
It's been really enjoyable working alongside both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You as well. Thanks.
Now we start the transition. All right, on that note, we still do need to got the business of the county. The county spins on, and with me, what more appropriate way to do it than budget amendments?
We wouldn't expect it.
What's the number?
56.
This is just increasing the APO admin revenue fund by $50,000 and the APO admin expense fund by $50,000. They make some purchases out of that account, and I diverted a lot of this year cut to go into the general fund. But it looks like they're going to make some specific purchases out of that fund directly. So we're just allocating money, appropriating money for them to do that. Fund has about $500,000 in it, and so there's certainly no issue appropriating $50,000. Questions, comments? Take a motion to approve 56.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. This is our crisis program, our co-responder program out of the district attorney's office. Looks like mental health is giving them some more dollars to be able to purchase a vehicle, and then of course the accompanying money for the actual usage of that vehicle. And so I'll take a motion to approve 57.
I just have to say, excellent program that we have. I always hear, which is unusual, but law enforcement officers do say that it is a valuable resource to have. So I have to say thanks to our mental health partners for always having that money available. I will make that motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor? Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Up next, minor clerical, and we need to get down to the access mines and start the process of clearing that out pretty badly. We need to do that pretty soon.
Yes.
But all of this relates to all the access. You can actually see the list of all the departments here when we start. In fact, Joe, if you'd be able to get on that, maybe start with the largest one.
Yeah, and it started going down. They asked us to go down one department at a time in possible times, and we have started setting down, so we'll follow up with them again. Great. See what we can move.
Shred and
Yes.
Yes.
thank you. So I'll take a motion on 58.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 59. All the postage for voter services is being taken out of our election integrity grant this year. The account that I originally used for that, I think, was processing of mail-in ballots. The controller has determined that it's more appropriate to use security and transportation. Whatever the controller says we'll do in terms of that. So we're just moving some money from that account to security and transportation, moving it around in that grant fund. Questions, comments on that?
No.
Take a motion to approve 59.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And the last one, we're just transferring in our Act 44 fund, $25,000 from the contingency there into the engineering fees to be able to pay the costs associated with the upkeep of our bridges.
So moved.
Second. Motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. No orders on the table for introduction or final action. Next commissioners meeting will be held Tuesday, February 21st at 10 a.m. in this room. We have a retirement board meeting today, immediately following this meeting. There will be, actually, the prison board meeting was just canceled, so that no longer
Thank you.
applies. And there is an opening on the Lawrence County Airport Authority. Matt Perrott, who served honorably for I was at the air 16 years, I think. He moved out of county, and so actually out of state. And so, per the Pennsylvania Authorities Act, he is no longer permitted to serve on that board, creating that vacancy.
And the courthouse is closed Monday.
Courthouse is closed Monday for President's Day. Thank you.
President's Day. Thank you, Joe.
And any public comments? Seeing none, I will adjourn the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you.
Broke my gavel yesterday at election board. I did it too hard.
Throw it at Frank.